Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to our friends at Village Law. I'm Darren Lutton, and it's time for the Gold Coast part of the show where we preview this weekend's fixtures. I've got Mark Madge with me, who's normally in tow, but this week we thought we'd bring in a special guest. We've got Brett Budwee from the Palm Beach Sharks. How you going, Brett?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Darren. How are you, mate?
Good. How's it feel to be top of the league?
Yeah, not too bad. It's Palm Beach hasn't been there for a while, but we're not counting our chickens yet.
For sure, and of course you are only there on goal difference, but it's been a fascinating league so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, mate, it has. I think this year compared to last year, as Mark said in previous interviews, that any team can drop points to any team. Last year, we found the bottom 2 teams didn't take any points off the top 6 teams, which sort of meant that the league was a bit one-sided sort of thing. And but this year, all teams are competitive, so every game's a big one.
For sure. All right, we might come back to you in just a moment, Brett, but Mark, will unleash the beast. Tell us what happened on the weekend, mate. There was some big results.
Massive weekend of football, obviously on the Gold Coast. Obviously, we'll start with Brett's. Brett's here with us. So their result against Robina. A lot of people thought Robina made new signings and might cause a bit of problems, but by all accounts, I wasn't at the game, but by all accounts, and watching the highlights, it could have been a bit more there. Obviously, the cohesion of, I'm not just saying because Brett's here, I've said it in the past, the cohesion of Palm Beach now, and they're really showing why they are a serious contender to win this title this year, the way they've been playing and just the fluidity amongst that team and the consistency of their players in the squad. I think Brett will agree that being able to field the same team week in, week out and build that confidence and just keep riding it, it's been fantastic for them. Obviously, Nerang Southport, that game there, Nerang coming back into the top 4 at the halfway point in the year as well with a win there. They probably had their best performance. I got criticised again from some comments about saying it was their best performance and then whatever else, but I thought it was their best performance. They played quite well throughout the whole 90 minutes. They showed why those some young players that they bled through into the starting 11. That team actually came and stepped up and got them that energy that they needed. Obviously, the Burleigh Broadbeach game, it happens again for Broadbeach. A 90th minute goal they concede to lose 3 points. It's happened to them against Burleigh. It's happened to them against Coomera. It's happened to them against Nerang. So it's a bit of the same old story. But again, to be able to put themselves in positions as the bottom place team in our competition to be in games like that right in the end, you can't fault that. And I think, they're going to, in this second round, they made a couple of new signings. Danny Morton coming in there from Gold Coast Knights NPL into the fray. And obviously Justin Watmo, another player who was player of the year on the Gold Coast here. An amazing player that I think everyone can agree with and everyone would love to have in their side coming in. So it might be a bit different for them come second round. And then obviously Sunday, obviously Brett was there cheering on the draw and he got the draw, which is the most important part. That game had pretty much everything. When I say everything, it had red cards, it had penalties, it had missed penalties, it had absolutely everything. To be fair, I think Surfers would be a bit disappointed considering Coomera had Enrico was out completely, didn't play that game, and they had 2 other starters in Ferdinand Denor, 30, and Michael Townsend on the bench. So they had to bring in some reserve grade players and some bench players who did a fantastic job. So. Surface obviously unfortunate injury there to Andrew Barisic. I think he'll be out for the season there. I think he fractured his tibia and a dislocated knee as well. You hate to see that in any level of football, especially our amateur level. Took a bit of the grunt out of the first 20, 25 minutes. But all in all, another fantastic week of football here on the Gold Coast. And I'm sure that we're in for another massive week this week.
Brett, as Mark just mentioned, a 5-1 victory on the weekend. You guys are coming good at the halfway point of the season?
Yeah, mate. As Mark said, it's we've been consistent every week now. If we look back until pre-COVID, we've only lost 1 game since the start of the pre-season, and that's in all the FFA Cup games, all the pre-season games. the second pre-season sort of thing. We played a few decent teams in there, and we've been consistent for the whole year, which is very pleasing.
For those that we're getting a lot of interest from our Brisbane viewers, so they may not be as familiar with the league as of course the locals are. Tell us about yourself. How long have you been with the Sharks?
Well, I was originally I've been at many clubs over my 15 years there. The most recent, I was at the Knights in 2016 when they got promoted. I helped them get promoted into the Coast League 1, or into the Premier League, actually it was, from the Coast League 1. And then I moved to Gold Coast City, where I was the under-20s coach under Gray, and I was the assistant first-grade coach. And then when the whole Gold Coast City thing folded, I got offered to stay at Palm Beach sort of thing. And, basically just gave those group of under-20s players that were with Gold Coast City an opportunity to play senior football together. And I think it's starting to show now that, they've been playing together since they were 14, 15, those boys. And they're now 22, 23. And, we've added a couple little bit more experienced players through Dan Smith and that in the midfield. And, it's starting to come to fruition.
You're getting to reap the benefits. Very good. So let's talk about Gray then. You spent a bit of time with him at City. How did you take in this week's events with him leaving Gold Coast Knights? Yeah,
look, shocked, but not shocked. You know what I mean? I've been at the Knights. I know what they expect, sort of thing. And Gray's probably one of the best coaches I've ever worked with tactically. But there's high expectations when you have a budget the same as what theirs is, and sometimes it isn't results that matter.
Sure. Just moving now back to Palm Beach, you've lost one match. Surfers Paradise in third place. They've pretty much been the pace setters this season, haven't they? They're the only undefeated team, although they are a point back. They've been the standard bearer for the first half of the season.
Yeah, they've got one of the best attacking lines in the league. Teddy Watts and Barrett. Unfortunately, Barrett's out for the year, possibly his career. But they've got attacking weapons off the bench. But in saying that we match up really well with Surfers Paradise. We have over the whole 3 years that I've been coaching at Palm Beach. We're not really afraid of Palm Beach or any team. We give them Surfers Paradise. We give them respect and all the rest of it. But we feel we can beat anyone in the league. So. Very
good. All right, Mark, let's have a look at this weekend's matches. And Southport Burleigh Heads. What do you think is going to happen there?
Look, I think Burleigh are starting to, and I say starting to in as contained as I can, to get the wheels starting to get back into motion a little bit maybe. Big game for both teams. I think Burleigh can get a positive result here, and some results go their way. They can get into fourth spot, and I don't think any team would want to see with the players that they have, want to match up with them in the finals. Especially over just a one-off game. But again, same thing goes for Southport. All these games now, we can officially say we're in the business end of the season. The last 7 games, even though we're at the halfway point, anything can happen here. You can flip a coin, decide. I have confidence that the Bulldogs can get that ball rolling. I think when you have that many weapons in your arsenal, eventually there's going to come a game where they will fire, will click in. I still don't think we've seen the best of them this year. Southport, on the other hand, again, they're well coached, well drilled. They'll be looking to bounce back as quickly and as effectively as possible. Rob Semple's always said that for these, the last 2 games of the first round, the first 2 games of this round is going to define their season. So let's see, what they have on offer this week. 3 points will be massive for them. But again, we can keep saying every week 3 points is massive for everyone, because it is. Again, whoever rocks up on the day and gets the job done and works the hardest, I think will win in this one.
And playing at the same time as Surfers Paradise and Robina?
Obviously, Brett played Rabina last week. It will definitely won't be 10-0. I'll happily put anything on that with anyone. The first round, it was 10-0. So I don't think we'll see a repeat of that. Eventually, the players, Rabina have some great individual players. I think we can all agree to that. They have got some really good individuals. Now, if they can combine and get sort of gel a bit more, we can see them start taking points off everyone, really. I hear there's guys there playing on, with niggling injuries and all the rest of it. If you can't get, and Brett can attest to this, if you can't get your full squad training Tuesday, Thursday consistently and to work on things and build on things, you only have one session a week. It's not enough for them to be able to gel, especially with the short season as it is. Surface will obviously have to make some force changes. They had the captain sent off, Bruno Rodriguez, first time in his career he's actually been sent off. And obviously the Andrew Barisic injury. But again, it's not like they're bringing in reserve grade players or anything like that. They're lucky to have a big squad, lucky to have a deep squad. So in essence, the players they bring in might change their dynamic and the style of play they play to get the job done. Surfers will be, pretty comfortable favourites in this one. It's 3 points, or really for them, they're going to have to do some work, especially if the other two teams vying for the top spot get wins. Then you're going to have to basically rely on beating them both. I think that's what it will come down to at the end of the day. I think it would be interesting to see what Brett thinks. I think all those three teams know they need to at least win one and possibly get a point out of the other one. But most likely, if they win those two games, I think they can pretty much say that they're going to win the league. Do you not agree with that, Brett? Or
yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely.
I think so. It's 2 wins. So you don't want to force yourself that if you need to win those games to stay in it. That's the worst part. You want to be able to get points you have to pick up, and then if you beat those two, you'll be able to get to top spot. So it'll be like that for all of them. And I think Surface will know that 3 points this week is very critical for them.
The late game on Saturday is Coomera against Nerang.
I smell an upset. I'm just going to put it out. I love Stephen. I love Coomera, but Nerang and those players, I know there's not many of them left. There's a lot of injuries there as well, but the ones that have played at Broadbeach before, they always somehow find a good way at Coomera. I don't know what it is. At Coomera, they can always get results. Obviously, the last time they played in the first round, they had 3 red cards. It was a 4-0 game pre-COVID. And then the last time they met that group of players in Lee Vernon was in the semi-final when they got the job done at Broadbeach, and I think shocked a lot of people around the Gold Coast. 7 o'clock kickoff at Coomera is not easy for anyone, not even the home side. I think the positives for Coomera, obviously, coming into it is they didn't play well the 2 weeks before last weekend. Still got 6 points. They actually probably played one of the best games they've played this year, I'd say, against Surface, with considering personnel and everything to get a point. It's now going to be, can you get yourself back up for it on cold Saturday night at your home ground against a team that's high on confidence again? So it's a top 4 clash at the end of the day, 2nd versus 4th currently. So everything will be on the line. I'll throw this one in there. I don't know the last time Russell Minor didn't get sent off against Coomera. I will just throw that out there. All the games that I've watched, Russell Minor, obviously when he played for Broadbeach and then the first round, when he plays against Coomera, he always finds a way to get double yellow red. So I'm not going to jinx it, but again, it'll be a physical match, hard match. But I can see Nerang possibly getting something out of it.
And Brett, I'll throw to you for the Sunday game. You're travelling to Broadbeach. That'd be bottom team. That'd be an easy 3 points, right?
Not sure if you know, Darren, but Broadbeach are our derby game. So it's never easy. I can probably count on one hand how many games I've won at Broadbeach on a Sunday there, especially. But no, we're looking forward to it. We give every team the amount of respect they're due. And we know Broadbeach have signed new players. I think Mark just gave me the heads up that Danny Morton and Justin Watmale are back in. So thanks for that, Mark. But, Broadbeach is never easy. But we're taking it one game at a time. And, the colour of the shirt doesn't make any difference to us.
Tell us a little bit about the quality of your teams. Is your side that advanced that you can go in with multiple formations during games? Are you like a flat 4-4-2 team? How good are you, Brett?
Mate, look, we basically have stuck to the same formation for the last 3 years. Obviously, it changes attack and defence. Sort of, you change your formation from each moment of the game. But we like to play a progressive, possession-based game. We did struggle against teams who played the long ball, second ball sort of thing, but we've adjusted to that this year. We brought back Matt Hibbs from Mudgeeraba, and he's been a real good at centre back there for us. He's dealing with that long ball.
Okay.
That's the number one question I love is the long ball question. I had this debate. I've mentioned it with Brett. I've had arguments with coaches over. So just sorry to interrupt there, Darren, about this thing, and I just want to find. I said, and put it on record there. If you know how a team plays, you have to be able to combat that. And there's only, Palm Beach, credit to them. Every time they come, I'm not just picking Beth Proctor here, sorry, but every time they come up against a style like that, they still stick to their guns and they get the job done. They play how to defeat that system. A lot of teams make excuses that they can't beat a team because that style of football is shocking and that style of football is bad and all the rest of it. And it falls on deaf ears with me now, because at the end of the day, you need there to get a job done. And when teams playing a long ball style, if you want to call it, you need to combat that and do that well. And that's why I think, to be fair, the Palm Beach is the way they are. And as Brett said there, they always come up against everyone and respect everyone the same way. I don't think a lot of teams do that in our league. I think a lot of players in our league come into it and think, oh yeah, they're not that good today. This player's not that good, and we're going to get it done quite easily today. And it comes back to bite them. So, sorry, I just thought I'd chip that in there because it's frustrating.
And the long throw, Mark. You forgot the long throw as well.
Long throw. It's a feature of 2020. Brett promised me he wouldn't do a long throw all year, but he did one game just because we were there. He saw his boys throw one in the mixer for the camera. So long throw is the number one weapon, I think, from a lot of teams this year. We've seen more long throws in games and corners, I reckon.
Actually, Mark, the only reason he'd done the long throw because he was a reserve grader. I didn't know he could throw it that long. And then as soon as I seen him do it in the game, I thought, that's it, I can use that now.
Long range. Yeah. Love it.
It's cost me some points over the years, don't worry.
And let's face it, your FFA Cup results for the Gold Coast teams over the past couple of years speaks to the quality of the league. So, yes, I certainly don't mean any disrespect there. It was just trying to probe and find out a little bit more about the good league. Yeah. All right, now let's move to the Coast League. We had 2 out of 3 upsets on the weekend, Mark.
Yeah, you could probably say, obviously Kingscliff having the draw there would hurt them. Not hurt overall. They're still in top position, still in control with the 2 automatic spots. But again, disappointed because you don't want to have to, again, rely on those games against the top 3, if you want to call it that. Mudgeeraba beating Bond. A lot of people know Mudgeeraba, or they might not know, Mudgeeraba's gone completely opposite to what they've done in previous years and gone with all Mudgee kids, all Mudgee juniors, really young. So to get maximum 6 points, they've won the reserves as well, will be a huge confidence boost for those kids moving forward. And again, the week before, they actually drew with Musgrave, who, again, were tipped to be one of the top teams, if not the top team, and favourite to get promoted this year. So to go 2 results back-to-back like that, extreme confidence from them. And obviously Musgrave getting all 3 points against Pac Pine for them leading into this weekend of Coast League football, which comes up, I'm probably jumping the gun again, but Musgrave versus Tweed, that is critical for both those teams. Tweed, it's a must-win for Tweed, I think, more so than Musgrave. But that game is going to potentially decide who either get that second spot or even top spot, for a matter of fact. Kingston have the luxury of sitting back this week and just watching all the chaos unfold, and then just know that they'll have 6 games to go after next week. And I think three wins will do it. I think that'll be enough for them to get one of the 2 spots, especially if Musgrave get 3 points today. Look, I'm going to come out on record and say I'll probably cop flack for it, and I don't really care anymore, to be honest. I don't think 3rd place will be able to beat 8th place in a 2-leg playoff, personally. I think the strength of the 8, I haven't seen it since I've been involved in the competition. I just will think it's very tough for whoever it is to come up against a team in such a short space of time and get the results. Usually in playoffs, you can say, they might have a chance because it's the second team and they've had a winning season. And the 8th place team has generally been a team that maybe wins one game if they're lucky. Whoever finishes at the bottom will know that could beat anyone in our league. So even though, and they might have even beaten someone in the top 2 or 3, for a matter of fact. So to go into a game like that, I think that they'll have enough confidence to get through there. So, I think the top 2 spots is essential for one of those 3 teams. I think it's 3 teams in Coast League. I'm going to throw it out there again. I'm going to put myself on the line. It'll be one of those 3. Those 3 will be the top 3 in what order to be confirmed. Like I said last week, it'll be Palm Beach, Coomera or Surfers for the title in the Premier League. So an interesting times ahead for sure.
And just finally, I'm going to be down the coast this weekend. So I'd love to get out to a game. What's your recommendation?
What day should I go?
I'll be there from Friday through.
I'm the Broady, Darren.
I have to watch the Sunday fixture. That's a lot. And then to be fair, maybe go to Surfers Robina. Go to Surfers Robina might be your best option out of the early kickoffs. Enjoy Saturday night in, I think. Maybe it'll be cold down at Viney Park. We'll all be there, I'm sure, but by all means, come down and support. Actually, you know what? Support local football. Go to the 3 o'clock and the 7 o'clock and the Sunday game because that's what it's all about. There might even be a Friday night game, Bond. I'm not too sure. I haven't looked at the Coast League draw. There might be one. Get down to that as well, Darren. I'm sure you'll immerse yourself in Gold Coast football and stop harping on about the Brisbane quality because I'll out there, I'm confident any of our top 4, even top 6, would take any of the Brisbane teams hands down. There you go.
Love it. Do you find that there's like a core group of people that just travel from game to game every weekend?
110%. 110%. I see the same faces. Philo has the funny. Everyone's probably heard this comment on the Gold Coast that he made a joke that he probably sees Lee Vernon more than he sees his own missus usually throughout a normal season because we're always going to the same grounds and always seeing the same people. But there is a core group that constantly go to the games. That's why we normally stagger and have obviously the 3 o'clocks and a 6 o'clock kickoff on the Saturday and then the Sunday. So if you're crazy like me or other people, you can get to 3 games in the week. I loved it when we had Friday night, the 3 to 6 and the Sunday because you can get to all 4. But there is a core group of people. We have good people here on the Gold Coast overall. I think, everyone's pretty comfortable going to any ground watching teams. Everyone gets along. Yes, once they cross that white line, it's white line fever. It's just how it is. But generally off the field, I think all our coaches have a pretty good relationship, some closer than others, but overall pretty good. And the football fraternity is always strong here. So always overlooked, though, in the southeast corner, always overlooked here on the Gold Coast. But I'll tell you what, they shouldn't overlook us for too much longer, that's for sure. They're just lucky. To be honest, I think the rest of the southeast is lucky that we don't have a southeast league combination because, I'll tell you what.
But we should. That's what maybe we should do, Mark, I reckon.
Yeah, as long as we don't draw the short end of the stick and get 2 or 3 teams only, and at least we can get the ones that we deserve to be there, get in there. But that's a conversation for another time, I think.
Very good, very good. All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you so much for your time, Brett. It's been great to have you on board today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join us.
Thanks, Darren. Anytime, mate.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, hopefully we might get you back on during the season if Mark will
maybe he'll be the Premiership trophy will be with him next time we speak to him. Who knows?
Yeah, don't get that far ahead, Mark.
All right. So Mark Madge from Gold Coast Football, Brett Budwee from Palm Beach. Oh my goodness, Palm Beach Sharks, isn't it? Thank you. This has been the Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to Village Law. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
That's right.